Okay guys, welcome to some footage I've got here for you from the Apex Online Elite Round 7. Quickly jumping on board with myself here now for my pole lap. Wasn't a perfect lap, but it was good enough for pole. Wasn't really pushed. Tricky conditions, it was hard to get a good lap in. Obviously racing in the rain, and I was racing with the setup that I was racing with the race. I try and keep the setup the same. Very tricky race conditions this, because yeah, I went all out wet setup basically. I didn't bother for any dry setup, so it was gonna hinder me a bit at the end when it was dry, but I went for consistency in the wet, and it pays off, as you'll see from watching the footage. We haven't got all the footage in because the replay didn't work properly, and it just all messed up and it keeps failing on me whenever I try to record some footage from it. Managed to get some footage of a battle with Cryptic TMG and iJoker. That was pretty good footage to watch. So what I'm going to do is, while this lap's playing over the pole lap, the race will start. I'm just going to show you the first 5 laps, then we're going to skip a few laps later, and then it's a big jump in the time because I had to use my footage recorded from the PS4 share. In future videos for races it won't be like this. I've got much better footage to come to show you guys, but then we'll skip to later on laps, and I'll just show you onboard footage of myself, because I'd rather show you my driving really than just skipping to all other people and it getting a bit confusing. So we'll just let this lap play out and then we'll join the start of the race. Okay, so we're at the start of the race now. See, we did manage to get some of the footage recorded from the replay, but it just started messing up. As you see there, we got a really good start away from the line. Then we attacked the curve a little bit too much, run a little bit wide, lose a bit of pull out of the bend, and Super Scrub's coming down the right hand side. We go to cover the line, but he's already there, so we move back over. But Super Scrub, he brakes really late then, he brakes a little bit too late running wide. I take the inside line, and then Super Scrub comes right back across my line and just clips the front of my car. Not much I could do there. You see there, we're back in the lead there, with iJoker following really closely behind as we go into the sharp hairpin bend at the end of the long straight on Hockenheim. Yeah, you see everyone in the background there. Some cars not showing the lights from the replay, a bit of a shame. You can't really see what's going on. Oh, a little clip there from the Audi, I didn't notice that before. The Audi clipped iJoker into the corner. Okay, so we're just going to let this play through, and then we'll have a little watch back of the incident at the start. From my point of view, there was no action taken from the stewards because I think it was pretty clear there was not much I could do. I was just racing my line. So we'll just jump to that action now. As you see now, we'll play it now. So there you go. He takes brakes too late. We stay to the right, as far right as we can. He just comes back across our line. And the cars get a little bit stuck together. Not much we could do. Anyway, we'll join the action again now. So I'm going to let it just play through for yourselves. This is going to be about the first 4 or 5 laps. I think I'll let it play through. Let you watch how I build the lead up slowly, not making any risks. I think I made one little error in the first like 8 laps where I ran wide on this bend coming up here, but further on. It's a tricky bend this because the braking's really hard to get. No real brake marker, so it's just judging it. But on one lap I ran a little bit wide, but we maybe lost half a second or so. But that was the only real mistake we made in the whole race. Anyway, I'll let you guys watch some footage now where I'm just building up the lead, keeping it safe, no risk. There's no point risking it because there was no real challenge from behind. Anyway, I'll come back to you in a bit.
lap of the race. Look strong out there, stay focused and keep building the lead.
Okay guys, so we're going to skip through in a minute to, I think there's that little mistake I was talking about before, just to show you made that little mistake on lap 5, ran a bit wide. So we're going to skip through to I think lap 8 or so, show you a couple of laps from, or lap 7 or 8, something like that. I think, yeah, lap 7. Going on to lap 8, show you a couple more laps of the drive and at the end of the actual PS4 share footage that recorded, and then we're going to skip much further on in a minute, and I'll just let you to watch this footage for a bit. You can see there we've built up quite a considerable lead. We've got 12 seconds after lap 11, 8 laps, so we're averaging over a second a lap on the way, just keeping it safe really. There's no real mistakes going on, it's just nice and calm, keeping it steady. Anyway, I'll let you guys watch this footage instead of just listening to me rambling on.
Great job.
Okay, so now we've jumped through right to the end of lap 29 there. As you can see, we've built up a little bit more of a lead after the pit stop phase. It's now on 19 seconds, the lead. I think iJoker got back past Jamie after he made a mistake, and iJoker had reasonably good speed with Cryptic TMG. I think they went for a much more dry setup. You'll see from the footage I had gone pure wet and the car was just understeering, not gripping right in the dry, but I would rather have lost out on half a second a lap in the dry and then gain the consistency in the wet, because one mistake in the wet and you lose 5 seconds, it's not worth the risk. But you see we're still actually pulling away even with a wet setup. We weren't really losing any time, we were just slowly pulling away. I think it was about 3 tenths to half a second a lap, but I think as I got a bit more used to how to change the way I needed to drive with it, I was slowly getting the times down. I got them into the 37s eventually, and it was just a case of just getting used to a different way to drive the car, because this isn't how I have the car set up for the Z4 in the dry on this track, because normally you can get this car in the 36s, but obviously when you've got a wet setup and you've got the acceleration slip completely different to what I would have in the dry. The preload slip was completely different. Everything was completely set up for the wet, but you can see there we were still comfortably pulling away, nice and slowly, no real risk, not taking any major risks on any of the corners, trying to keep it as safe as we could over the curbs. And I'll let you guys watch some of this footage, and then we'll jump through to the battle with Cryptic TMG and iJoker.
Great job, that's great pace. Don't switch off, we're building a really good gap now to second. Keep it up.
Okay, so here's the battle that I've been talking about. This pretty much was going on through the whole race, and it's quite annoying that the replay wouldn't really work properly for me. Every time I fast forward it to the point I wanted to, it would crash and go back to the start of the race, and it was getting on my nerves. So I managed to capture a nice little section here though, where they were just battling out. As you can see there, Cryptic TNG going for the wide. He had the speed down the straight. He got past, but then he ran wide, and iJoker held the defensive line. But then, obviously, with the wide line, Cryptic's got a massive pull out of the bend. He's going through the attack again. Some great racing going on in this round 7 here between these two. I think they deserve great credit for how clean they kept it as well. Some really good defensive driving from iJoker as well, because that Z4 just doesn't have any speed down the straight. It's one thing I've learnt with it. It's lacking in power. The M3 is not the most powerful, but it's definitely got more speed than the Z4. You see they're really going at it, these two, and I'll let you guys just watch the battle they had for a bit, and then we'll jump through to my final few laps in a moment. Okay, so we're joining the action now with myself driving on the penultimate lap for my first victory in the Apex League racing. Obviously I only joined on round 5. First race wasn't great, my consistency wasn't there because I haven't really done much racing recently. Round 6, we should have won that. I mean, I came second, but I had a disaster. If anything could have gone wrong, it went wrong. But this race was nice and clean, kept it nice and safe, starting to get my consistency pretty much spot on now, making no real mistakes and just keeping it nice and clean. Learning to drive at 90% instead of going for that 100% lap, or say 80% when you need to, 70% when you need to. Whereas in the past I tended to drive a little bit too aggressive, risk making a little mistake which loses you more time in the long run. Anyway, this is the penultimate lap, going on to the final lap of my first race victory. Obviously I wish I would have been able to do a better upload with different footage, more footage than what this shown, but hope you guys have enjoyed this first victory in the Apex Elite division that I've done. We'll have round 8 uploaded very shortly. I'm going to try and get that one done also soon. That one's going to be another, it's going to be a bit of a, because it's been done, the race has been done obviously. It's going to be another, it's not going to be the most exciting race because it was pretty much me out in front the whole race. There was just no real battles going on anywhere in the field. There was the odd little scrap, but nothing worth showing. So what I'll do on that is I'm just going to concentrate on my own drive and just showing you guys the odd 4 laps here and there, just for consistency, just to show you how hard I was pushing and how I was driving. Anyway, we're just going on for our first victory here now. And then I think the battle between Cryptic TMG and iJoker pretty much went down to the final corner. They were slogging it out right to the end. They must have been going at it for about 10-15 laps or more. I don't know, probably more than that, because they were going at it before the pit stop phase of the race, and they were still going at it on the last lap. So I'm shocked that you never managed to get past the M3, because the M3 has got more straight line speed, but that Z4, that's the one area the Z4 really is strong on, is the braking. And I think iJoker was just able to brake that much later and keep the car online, which obviously gave him a nice second place in the end. You see now, pretty much caught up to the back marker there just before the start finishing line, as we take the victory for our first win in the Apex Online League. And there you go, so the first win there, and then we're going to jump to the battle for second place now. So you can see there, Cryptic giving it his all right to the end, and iJoker just keeping that really defensive driving going on. Nice and smooth, holding the inside line, keeping him away from any moves that you might think of Cryptic, and there's not much Cryptic could have done here. You see they finished the race in them positions there, so iJoker second and Cryptic third. Hope you guys have enjoyed this update upload, and hopefully we'll get some better uploads in the future with a bit more replay footage. Thanks for watching guys, and be sure to check out round 8 coming shortly.